YouTubers, this is Ernst Blowfield here. Today we're going to talk about Hotwire. In particular, we're going to talk about Hotwire vehicles. In Battlefield Hardline, they've come up with some new game modes. Hotwire happens to be one of them, and it emulates a mobile version of Conquest. The idea behind Conquest, obviously, is to hold a particular area more often than the other team holds other sets of areas. The more areas you hold compared to the other team, the more likely you are to win. Hotwire is exactly the same thing. You hold cars, you hold more cars more often than the other team, and you win. Right now, in my best recommendation, if you are new to this game, try out Hotwire, and do not leave Hotwire until you have enough money to buy every single gun in the game. Hotwire is a cash farming game mode. It offers cash at a much higher rate than any other game mode in Battlefield Hardline. Albeit, if you set up the right squad in, let's say, Conquest or Blood Money and camp one of the vaults, Hotwire is unbeatable when it comes to this. If you hop into a car, stay in the car using your mechanic class with a repair tool and a grenade launcher, throw on a 200% boost, guess what? You're probably going to be MVP, and you don't have to probably land any of those grenades that you launch out of the side of the car. So Hotwire's biggest strength is probably also its biggest weakness. Traditional Battlefield players more than likely measured each other on how good they are at Battlefield by a stat called score per minute. And obviously here in Hardline that translates into cash per minute. Being that you can essentially earn thousands upon thousands of cash per minute in Hotwire, it essentially offers a game mode that boosts your stats. Now we know that most Battlefield players aren't going to care about their KD. We know that anybody that's played Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4 could easily hop into a tank or a scout and just boost their KD up into the 8s and the 10s. So we generally look at score per minute or cash per minute as being the primary measure of how good a Battlefield player is. Even in past titles when skill was used, we knew that skill could be artificially boosted by running a full squad in domination. Here, Hotwire is sort of a boost of probably the #1 stat that I would look at in terms of determining how good is somebody at Battlefield 4 or Battlefield Hardline. And that brings me to my first fix. I think the #1 thing that they need to fix with Hotwire is to reduce the point system. Now, I'm not asking them to reduce the point system across the board. What I would actually suggest is taking the common vehicles like the sedans and the coupes and even the vans and reducing them down to, let's say, 5 points per cruising bonus versus the 15 that they have today. But keep the things like the tanker truck or the motorcycle all the way up at the 15 that it is today. That gives more incentive to the players to hop in a diesel truck and a dirt bike versus the other cars. The next change that I would propose in the Hotwire game mode is to reduce the damage of the RPGs. As much fun as it is playing infantry and sitting on a corner waiting for a car to come around that corner and shooting an RPG at it, it is absolutely frustrating as a driver who's playing the objective that you run into somebody who's not even really close to playing the objective and just looking for those Michael Bay moments of car explosions. Now, I'm not saying to reduce it all that much, but perhaps something to 70 damage, something that will disable the car, but not necessarily blow it up all the way. It gives the team, especially in something like a sedan, the opportunity to repair the car, or jump out, kill the guy that's RPG'd them, and hop back in and continue to repair the car and continue driving. RPGs offer a nice balance when it comes to preventing those 6,000, 7,000 score streaks in a car, but anybody who has an RPG in the trunk and can immediately spawn on any of the vehicles or hop in a vehicle that's already been parked and automatically spawn an RPG, we already know that there's plenty of RPGs on the map in order for them to get their way. So if we do reduce the damage, I would suggest that perhaps shooting the RPG, getting the disable, and then unloading a full clip into a car can do the same amount of damage as the RPG currently does. I'd definitely love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below on exactly what you think about the RPG and what should be done. Lastly, one big problem is that essentially there's no reason to run any other class than Mechanic. Between the repair tools, the perks of extra nades, the grenade launcher that you can come hanging out of a car and do drive-bys with, there's just no real reason to play Enforcer with an ammo bag or breaching charges, unless you like camping, of course. There's no real reason to play Professional unless you're MLG Sniper Pro 420 no scopes. And obviously with an operator, you're just largely ineffective in Hotwire. So being that that is the way it is, I think that there needs to be more of a class balance in the Hotwire game mode. If you're running anything other than Mechanic, you're probably not helping your team out. So what do you guys think of Hotwire? For those of you that played it already in the approximate month or so that Hotwire's been out, what would you like to see change? What's your big problem with it? Obviously the points are there. You have the RPG spam, the nade spam, the grenade launcher spam. You know, should you run anything else that's out there in terms of classes? Let me know down in the comments. And ultimately let the devs know too. Make sure to hop on the Battlefield Hardline forums, post your suggestions, but don't be completely critical or completely asshole-ish and just say this game sucks, you did this wrong. Give them valuable feedback. The only way to make a game better is to not just sit there and bash it, but provide valuable feedback that the devs can use to improve the game. Look at Battlefield 4. It's been out for over a year and they're still coming up with improvements for the game. Also, let me know what you liked about this video or what you didn't like about this video, or what videos you guys might want to see in the future as it relates to game modes, guns, or suggestions for Battlefield Hardline. Anyway, thanks for stopping in and talk to you all soon.